Canes actually came off two pretty solid wins. The Islanders game, the home opener, that was just a fantastic game. That was essentially the Hurricanes playing mid-season form opening night, which is something the Hurricanes fans aren't used to seeing. We're not used to seeing that hard checking, high scoring, finishing stuff game one. Last year we started off 5-0, which was great. But seeing the Canes really come out, this is a determined group of skaters who they're gonna go far. Adam calls me a homer for not for having so much faith in this group in particular, and I'm telling you right now, this is a damn good group of Canes players, and they're gonna go far. Um, I even saw that Tortorella has them as playing in the finals against the Avalanche. So it'll be interesting to see how far the Canes can go. Uh, the Islanders game, Svechnikov had 2 goals, looked great. Niederreiter, Turbo, everything looked like it was firing away on all cylinders. Freddie Anderson had a couple weak moments. I think he was just nervous. Might remember Frederick Anderson was initially drafted by the Hurricanes before deciding to go elsewhere. So this is a little bit of a homecoming. It was a homecoming game for him. With Caniacs there, sold out crowd. I think there's just a lot going on for him to sort of kind of really completely fully understand. Not necessarily understand, but sink his teeth into. He played a little bit nervous that first game, but and so the Canes winning 6-3, it looked really great. The following game was 3-2 against Nashville. Canes started off strong. They looked a little bit weaker in the second and a little bit of the third period. Looked like maybe not weaker isn't a good word. The Predators came on strong and started playing their game. It was a little bit overpowering to the Canes, but Svechnikov had another snipe. So far, that's 2 just gorgeous snipes and an empty net goal for Svechnikov. Great start for the season. He did make a little bit of a fumbly play in the neutral zone that's led to the Predators getting into the game. And Frederick Anderson locked it down. I think that maybe the road trip that the Canes are about to take is going to be most beneficial to Frederick Anderson, getting him into a groove, getting him into a rhythm of playing with the NC State Fair being in North Carolina right now, in Raleigh. Freddie Anderson has the ability to put teams on his back, and with the defense that the Canes have, with the veteran leadership and whatnot, it's going to be super important that the defense sort of kind of start gelling well together. They gel pretty well. Game 2, game 1 was it was 3 new players essentially trying to figure out how to play with one another, full speed, full pace. Tony DeAngelo has looked fantastic. Assists, hitting, doing everything that you'd expect a player to do who's on a 1-year deal at essentially league minimum. I'm expecting great things from him moving forward through this season. But coming up, the Canes have Montreal, which is going to be an interesting game given the offer sheet, given the preseason game drama, given everything else. With the injuries and with Price not being there, I sort of almost feel bad for the Canadians. It doesn't look like this is going to be a rough season for them. And then the Blue Jackets are in the later in the after or on Saturday, excuse me, and they had a surprise victory over the Coyotes 8-1, which is sort of kind of surprising. I don't think the Columbus is going to have a very good team given the fact that they lost. John Tortorella was their coach. They lost Seth Jones. They had their goaltender passed away over the summer. Columbus has had a rough go. I'm definitely expecting this to be a rebuilding year for Columbus, but I do think it's going to be this last week was great, and I'm looking forward to at least one, maybe 2 more victories going into this next week.